Good evening, guys. Welcome to another Cruising with the Cruise music on the just another night of enjoying the soft music. Good evening to all those coming in. Oh, speaking of cruising, I'm actually working on some travel stuff, doing some training and video training here, and just gonna enjoy the night with and welcome into those if you want. Hello, Gloria. Hopefully, we might have somebody joining me soon. Welcome in, Gloria. Man, congratulations to Pete, um, and the whole everybody that was involved with that whole um, fundraiser. Congratulations! I'm glad. Awesome. Again, I know military means a lot to him. I'm glad to see it turned out extremely well. I'm glad to see that they beat and went above the goals that they set. There's my friend Mama D. She needs to get on here too. Mama D, you need to come on tonight too. We're just chilling and relaxing and enjoying music. I'm going to be doing a little bit of river cruise training on the Viking. We're just relaxing and chilling in the music. Jason, good evening, my sir. Oh, now I know why. I have to go fix that. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. I have to go fix something real quick. You're understand, Debbie. It's been a long day for you. We'll get you. We'll get you next. We'll get you in a couple of weeks when I come home. I just have to do something here. I have to fix one person. There we go. He's fixed. I mean, it's just an easy night tonight. John may come join me in a little while, so I should have. I probably may have somebody. I should. I probably will have somebody joining me here soon. I'm just going a little bit earlier tonight. I don't, but I'm sitting here just doing a little bit of training as we is. I'm working. I'm actually looking at some of the river itineraries for Vikings river cruises. If I ever go to Europe, I think that's you know what? I think you're swallowing. No. Okay. John will be joining me in about 10 minutes, guys. So enjoy the music. If you guys got questions about river cruises or if you guys got questions about cruises, tonight is the night to throw the questions at me. Um, I'm actually going to let this be a round table and let you guys throw questions at me. Normally, I'm throwing questions at you guys, but tonight, if you got questions about cruising and something you want to know, throw to me. Because by answering your questions, it kind of helps me learn about what I need to do and things like that. Mm, some very good Regensburg, Germany. And then day 8, you disembark. Regensburg, Germany. See, the good thing is we shouldn't have no phone calls in because I know they're going to be all exhausted from the thing. So we shouldn't have no problem tonight. We're on my travel channel. This is just a regular sea life of music. To me, being on the ocean is something that I love the best. Something about it. If I could totally live on the ocean, I would. Now we're on the DNB. Then you'll be well. Get this done. That'll be another section done, and then I've got another one full complete section done on the training. And all I got left is I'll still have the oceans to do for Viking. What I'm working on right now is just nothing more than the river cruises that from Budapest, Hungary to Passau, Germany. I'm not sure I want to go to Czechoslovakia Republic. Excuse me. So, all commandos coming in, guys. Enjoy the music. You should be in blue in here too now, Jason. Just to let you know. Yeah, we're just having a nice one thing about Saturday evenings, it'll be a nice, easy, relaxing. This 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 is the way it should be on a cruise ship. Nice, relaxing. The sounds of the ocean waves, looking over the far distance of the ocean. Hmm. Not to see if they, know, any know you guys can answer. Y'all know you can answer. Remember, y'all can ask me questions if you like. Slava Slavikia. Slava Slavokia. Welcome into those coming in, guys. We're just having a nice, easy chill. Now we're going to Vienna, Austria. I hope everybody had a good Saturday. Debbie, I know you need some rest. If you need to go rest, I've got other mods in here that can handle it. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We're just relaxing on the cruising music. Imagine you're on the waves. Imagine you're on the cruise, feeling those waves, the beautiful wind on the deck, off of the ocean. Ain't nothing been a better feeling than that. I'm gonna tell you. Brems, Austria. Uh, so, anybody do anything interesting today? Except Debbie. I know she's been doing streams all day. I know, man. Even I'm tired because I've been doing a lot of training too. In a late evening departure. Mm. Some of these cruises, Debbie, you would love to take, I bet. Through Germany. Debbie, it's no problem. If you need to go to sleep, listen, go to sleep if you need to. Get rest. You had a long day helping Pete today. I've got more mods in here than you can count. I've got another mod in here if Jason's still in here. So Jason should have a blue wrench in here now too. So don't worry about falling asleep if you fall asleep. Listen, this music's relaxing me. I'm probably going to play this music again before as I'm going to sleep so I can relax tonight. Yes. You don't hear any music? You guys cannot hear the music? Mm. You can't hear no music, Debbie? Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. You can hear me talking, but you can't hear the music. No music. Hmm. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do it the old fashioned way then. Be right back.
Hello.
Now you should be able to hear the music. I had to switch. Hey, John, how are you?
How's it going?
What is it with the volume?
You got the cruise music going?
Got the cruise music, but the volume on this thing is like, oh, what in the heck? Everything's fine there. Oh, okay, I need to go into settings here and find out what the world's going on.
There's always something in settings to go tweak.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
No, I can't hear you.
Oh,
What the heck?
can you hear
Okay.
me? Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3.
What
4,
is
5, 6.
going on with this strip?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, it's something screwy is going on. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Trying to figure out what's going on.
That's all right. Take your time. I see Debbie in the chat, and Gloria, and Jason, and other good people.
Yep, they're back.
Debbie did an amazing job tonight modding.
Man, they all did all you mods did a great job on that.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Mr. Jason.
You guys did a great job on that.
And raised a lot of money.
Yeah, over $8,000. So
yep.
Now you guys should hear the music. I'll have to keep it down though where I can hear John. So
Well,
hopefully
I'd
you can
rather
hear
hear
the
the
music.
music than me. I mean, let's get our priorities straight.
Oh, hey, this is for me. Listen, if I have my way, and I know this is bad, but if I had to choose between being here, being at Disney World, or being on a cruise, I know what would win hands down.
I'm not going to guess.
Um, a cruise would be hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. I wouldn't be
Blame it.
nowhere.
There's
Well,
just
and
something
here's the
about being
thing.
captive, right?
Huh?
There's something about being, maybe captive's not the right word, but in a place where you have to stay there is relaxing. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, it's more about it to me, there's something rejuvenating about being on the ocean.
Yeah.
Something about, and that's the sailor. That's the sailor in me because I love the water. I love the smell of the fresh salt ocean coming off the waves and the wind off the ocean. And there's something about a view that when you look over the long distance of the ocean and you can't see no land, it just something about it that it's just, you know, when it gets fun is when it's fun when things start happening and all of a sudden they have to start throwing people overboard for the sharks. Then it's every man for themselves.
Well, I haven't been on a cruise like that yet. It sounds fun.
Neither have I, and I don't plan on it. But no, I actually, because I'm sitting here doing some, I was talking with these guys, but I'm kind of doing some Viking training. And right now I'm working on the river cruises because Viking now has some ocean ships, but it's more known for its river cruises, particularly along like the Danube and the Rhine rivers in Germany and all that, along Austria, Czechoslovakia, and all that. But now it's bought out a river cruise company, and now it has river cruises up and down the Mississippi.
Wow.
So
that's exciting.
Oh yeah, it's which I could do too. I would love to do a cruise up and down the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. So where does it go to when it goes?
That's when you take someone you don't like. Oops, sorry. What? You went overboard? I didn't see that.
At least there you can see the land and you could swim to land if you need to. It's a little different.
Good
when
luck
you're out.
swimming that. The currents in the Mississippi.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not discounting that.
Hey, it's not called the mighty Mississippi for nothing now.
Yep, that's true. But I'd rather do that than get thrown out in the middle of the Atlantic somewhere.
That could be true. That could be true.
Hey, Paul.
Of course, I wouldn't do that anyway. Evening, Paul. Good. Oh, and there's. Have we started getting the jittery bugs yet, Paul? You're down to 5 days until you fly to Granada.
That's exciting.
Yes, I'm happy. Again, I'm happy for them. It's been a great, you know what? It's been good. And I look forward to when Paul and Stephanie comes back. They'll be officially married. Who knows? One of these days, you might even get to see my girlfriend on a stream sometime the first week of July. So
nice.
There might be just some special things coming down the pipeline over the next few weeks.
Very good. What's the occasion for that?
There has no to be an occasion for that, just so that everybody gets to see the girl that I'm dating.
That sounds great. Nothing wrong with that.
There.
Yep.
I
Well, there
just
are so
have to
many.
keep them away from certain people like Mama D who will grill them, and there's certain people in here who will grill them left and right. I'm telling you, Paul. See, that the thing of it is, it's when you say "I do" when things change. We all
Don't
know
freak me
that.
out now.
I've been
Come on.
there and done that once. Thank goodness it was never legal.
It wasn't legal. Now there's a story there. I think we
I
need to hear.
actually have been married once before.
Uh huh.
It just never was legal. Legal in the sight of God because we did it. We did it with the
I
minister.
see.
But the lady,
So,
you know how sometimes you truly don't learn about the person until after you marry them.
sure. Yep.
Because you truly, I mean, yeah, granted, you learn a lot about them, but you learn more about their outer. I mean, you learn some of their personalities, but you don't truly learn their inner personalities until you really live with the person for a
Yep.
long time.
True.
And unfortunately, what I saw in this lady didn't pop up until after this. And the only thing that saved my cojones, and some of these guys might have heard this. Some of these guys might have heard this story that the lady I was with was a bio witch.
What was a what? Excuse me?
A bio witch. I call her a bio witch.
A bio witch. That's an interesting term.
Remove certain letters and shorten it to a certain word with a capital
Okay.
B.
Okay. I think I get it now. I hadn't
She
heard
was
that.
that kind of a person. I just
Yeah.
get creative. That way I don't get, I don't have to use Captain Mickey Mouse here. It's good to see
Hello,
you, buddy.
Captain.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard people add letters
The thing
like
is,
that.
She actually tried to separate me from my whole family. She really
Ew.
tried to cut me from my whole family off.
Yeah.
Well, really, did she want you to take dangerous jobs? Well, you were already doing a dangerous job, Paul, because you were being a sheriff, a deputy, and all that, and you were already doing dangerous jobs. But she wanted me to take dangerous jobs, I think, just to whack me off to get the insurance money.
Wow. That's rough.
I'm not saying that's what she was thinking, but that's,
Sure.
she pushed me towards every dangerous job when,
Wow. That sounds like a movie.
and it was crazy. And listen, I will not say I did a lot of things wrong in that relationship too, but she actually cheated on me several months. See, she had a little boy, and I would be home and watch the little boy, and she'd be out with some other guy.
That's nice. Yeah.
No, it wasn't fatal attraction. Oh no, it gets funnier. This, and I'm sure it gets funny with, and this is why I'm sure there would be a few people that would definitely grill this girl before I even. I'm sure this girl will get grilled from this community by certain people before they really. But
that's rough. I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, so she cheated. And here's the crazy thing of it. What crazy made about the marriage was we got married in God, so it was in the sight of God, but she never turned in. Let me ask you guys. You got everybody that's been married, who turns in the marriage certificate usually?
Well, it depends on circumstance, but in my case, it was the priest, the pastor who was in charge of all that.
90% of the time, it's usually the person that's marrying you.
Yeah.
Well, she told my pastor that we would turn it in. Well, thinking that we were going to turn it, I had to go back to work. We only had got like 2 or 3 days. I got 2 or 3 days off to go do a quick get away and then come back and go back to work. 6 months down the road, I find that marriage certificate sitting in an envelope, sitting in one of my boxes.
Oh boy. It was
Yeah.
never turned in. Okay.
And from there, that's when things went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. 6 months later, things started. We started bickering and everything else, and it just that was
That's a
it.
short
We were
short
together.
honeymoon.
We were together for 1 year. We were together
Yeah.
for 1 year, and then here's where it gets a crazy story. It, I wouldn't call it I definitely wouldn't call it a fatal attraction, but it was fatal stupidity, I guess is what I'd call it. Because a month after the guy that she was cheating with me on married her, so she was married for a year. She married the guy a month after I split from her.
Wow. That's a rebound.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Oh. Yeah, see that? Thank you, Gloria. See, most pastors do turn it in. I should have suspected something that night, but I didn't know enough. I mean, I'd never been married before. I didn't, I never had been involved with weddings up to that point. And
So was it her intention that she would just grab it and hold on to it and never check it in?
I suspect
To what end?
he was playing
Why?
it that way. I don't know. It's something she could have forgotten, but it saved my wallet. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, because you were never officially married, so it was.
We were never officially married, so she couldn't easily get rid of her and go.
Interesting.
That's the thing. But here's the crazy thing of it. Now I did have her on her and her kid on my health insurance for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, you got certain amount of time to get yourself together. Because she had already married the guy. So you're with a new husband. Why are you on my insurance? You got till such and such a day, and I kicked her off. I kicked her off. I was being a nice guy.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
You're paying for someone's wife on your insurance. Sure.
Well, it's because we were together, and I didn't want to kick her off away. I didn't know she had got married. I didn't know.
Right.
That otherwise I would have kicked her off.
When did you find out?
Not until she got kicked out a year later by the guy.
Oh, good Lord.
And then, this is where it gets this really, Paul and Stephanie would have fun with this if they came out. This could really get into an interesting go around on this conversation. She calls me to the year of the day that she married the guy. He booted her butt out the door.
Wow. Well, what goes around comes around, I guess.
Basically. And gets better. A month after she gets booted out of there, she has the nerve to call me back up to see if we can try to get back together.
Are you serious? Oh, good Lord.
I'm serious. She called exactly a month after she got booted out.
Sometimes I wonder about people. Did she seriously think you would go for that? That's crazy.
Yeah, basically, Jason, I got lucky. And by the way, guys, if you all notice, Jason is in blue. We got some backup for you guys for when you all can't be here.
Excellent.
I put him in blue on the other channel, which means he's blue over here as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is good for Paul.
Listen, I don't plan on that ever happening again. That's why if I marry this young lady that I got now, it will be, I will make sure it's the right person. And so far it's been good. We've been talking and.
So you mentioned she had a kid. This wasn't your kid.
No.
Right?
This one doesn't have a kid, thank goodness.
No, but you said I think earlier you said she had a kid. Is that right? Did I hear that?
The other one, the one that I was
okay.
married to that had the kid.
Okay, and that wasn't your kid. That was someone else's?
No. She unfortunately, she found out she was pregnant on the day her husband died. Her husband died of a heart attack.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, she had already gone through.
I see.
But I won't tell you how messed up the family was.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me put it this way. The family.
You know what? Like every family's messed up to some degree.
Oh, no. This family was really.
Yeah, I get it.
And yet the thing about it is her aunts and uncles, they loved me to death.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the
Yeah, and
family was
you were a
okay.
little normal. Yeah.
It was her immediate family that was a little.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad.
And you could see because her brother had gotten into trouble over things and things like
Right.
that. Things I
So
didn't know until after I married her.
okay. So Dave, remind me, do you have any
Let's not
kids
scare Paul
yourself?
anymore. We don't want to scare Paul because Paul
No.
may go running and then I'm going to get an earful
No.
from Stephanie.
No.
And
These are two good people.
I don't want an earful from Stephanie.
No. Has nothing to do with this. These are two very, very
Oh,
good
I know,
people
I know.
in our community.
I'm just look. I wish them the best of luck. They make a good
Yes.
couple. It's all to them.
So Dave, remind me, do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, but you took care of
But-
kids. You're a virtual
Oh,
dad.
here's the thing. Yeah, it'll all work out. Paul and Stephanie are good together. If you look at them on stream, they've been together on streams. If you look at how they interact, you can just tell by the way they interact and chat. I mean, yeah, it's harder to tell, but you get a feeling sometimes if you're those two will work out.
Besides, we've already vetted them in the community. They're good.
Exactly.
Nothing to worry about. It's
You
when
know,
you
and
meet
we
people
got
at
a lot of
bars
stuff
and
in
stuff
this
like that.
community.
That's when you have issues.
Hey, and believe it or not, here's the good thing. They are actually the first couple in this community to be married that met in this community.
Yeah, I don't know of any others. It's great. Fantastic.
Wow.
So lots riding on it, Paul. No pressure. No pressure at all.
I can see that, Paul. I really do. That's why I look forward to meeting you and Stephanie in person up in Baltimore. And of course, John will be up there, so it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'll have to hide from Debbie because the list is getting so long. Who knows what she'll
Oh, it'll be a
pull.
ball. We'll have fun.
What?
We'll have fun. It'll be a ball.
Oh yeah, I got backup. I got John Serpum. So me and him will hang out. So, that might be a little bit of, actually, you all might have to worry.
Are you going to bring a gimbal and
You
stream
all
from
might
there?
want to be a little worried with me and John together.
Are you going to stream from there, Dave?
Huh?
Are you going to stream from there? From the party?
Am I going to the what?
Are you going to stream your channel from Maryland?
No.
Okay.
They got enough people streaming from that.
Yeah, I know everybody's going to walk in with a gimbal.
No, not me. No.
It'd be like those streams when all the gimbals are facing each other.
No.
Just put them on.
I won't be streaming. A lot because there's a lot of better streamers that can do that. So yeah, let them take it. I'm just gonna go up and now I'm not gonna say that I won't go around Baltimore and do some picture taking and all that.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Down when streams collide everywhere.
Although today, I don't know if you noticed, Dave.
Actually, I'm going to put it that I'm making a new rule that when I'm up in Baltimore for the Maryland meetup, I am not to be on anybody's stream.
Oh, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck.
If I see myself end up on one person's stream,
you're going to have to wear a mask. No, that's not going to happen. A gimbal will be in your face in 2 flat seconds. So you're going to need to wear a mask or something if you don't want that.
Oh, no. I'm going to wear a big sign that says, "No streaming me allowed," period.
You can walk in a ghost outfit or something.
I don't do streams.
Well, we're going to have to cosplay you up, Dave, so that if we cosplay you up so that no one recognizes you, then you'll be fine.
No, I ain't doing that either.
We have to figure out who to dress you up as. Some princess, I think.
It can't be that difficult, Paul. But then again, maybe it can because so many people stream. You're right.
Something
It
that
might
no
be a
one
little
will
bit more
expect.
difficult,
Yes.
but my intentions are not to be on stream if possible, because I intend to go up there. I actually tend to go up there to be able to relax,
Yes.
have fun, stay off camera at all possible, except for maybe filming. I need to talk to Tina. Tina might be able to help me with that.
With
Do
what?
do a new commercial.
Hmm.
I want to film,
You gonna do some bumpers?
actually do, or keep the other one from Katie too. That way I can switch them on and off. But I actually want to maybe do one where I'm nicely dressed and do one around somewhere nice from Baltimore. I need to find a good place that I can film something like that.
You should ask Pete.
I
Ask
need to
Pete
talk
what
to Tina
your good
or
area.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a good that would be a good commercial to film.
You can do it from the ball game.
I'm not sure I can introduce cruise lines from a ball game.
Why not? Come on. It'll be unique.
I am doing a train up there. I
you
actually
taking the
finally
train?
got a hold of the train. I'll have to go coach, because even the smallest room is like 1,000 something.
Yeah, that's
So I'll
rough.
have to do coach, which I can do that. I'm
How
good
long
with
is the
that.
trip? How many hours?
It'll take a few hours.
Yeah.
I'd end up leaving late Wednesday evening
Mm-hmm.
and getting there sometime. That's right. I am Dave in the dark. I am better than Batman.
Batman.
You just gotta flash my
The
Dave
Dark Knight.
signal.
The Dark Knight Rises.
That's right. I'm the Dave Dark Knight.
The Dave Dark Knight. Yeah, but you know what? The good news is that coach on the train is usually comfortable. So
The what?
it's usually comfortable. It's not like coach on an airplane where you're squeezed in on
Yeah,
a sardine.
no.
So
Oh no, no, we're not going that route. Not on this channel.
Dave After Dark.
This is a relaxing cruise. Better get the melody back so we can keep you people at bay. Down, people, down.
No Dave After Dark.
Oh, I did. But then what was it that I said earlier?
About
You
what?
never know. If I was on a cruise and you saw smoke from my room, don't worry about it. It's just a little friction going on.
Oh my. Okay. You're just putting a campfire, right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sure.
It'd be me and my girl.
Just smoking a cigar. There you go.
And I was thinking, I'm thinking
Maybe.
next year I was going to be able to take my own personal cruise, but I'll have my girlfriend. I'm not sure she would like it if I go by myself. But then she
Debbie,
might, because she knows it's part of my business.
We need to get
too.
Debbie on here. I need some help. Debbie, where are you? We need to get Debbie on here. I need some help.
Debbie is extremely tired.
That's
we'll have
fair.
to
She
get
did
around
a lot
here
of
in
hard
2
work
weeks.
today. Yes.
She's been busy.
Yes.
She's still in the chat, so I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure if it's something that she does go crazy, she'll pop in.
So let me ask you a question
Anyway,
for people who
how's your weekend going, John? Everything
Good.
going
I
okay?
wanted things are all right, just busy. Since you're the expert, let me ask you the question. If people are interested in taking a cruise, but they've never been, what do you recommend as like a first time cruise? Do you recommend a short, like 2 or 3 day one, or a long one?
I would say about a 4 or 5 would be a. That's up to you, Debbie. I understand. We understand.
I was being facetious. We'd love to have you. Don't get me wrong, but
we would love to have you on. But we understand you've been working your tail off over on Pete's stream for his thing. So
I mean, this guy's talking about friction on a cruise, so I mean, I'll have to Keep them at bay.
Like you're supposed to have friction on a cruise. Good friction. Wait.
Hello.
Let me rephrase that. Good friction on a cruise.
No comment.
Anyway, now getting serious.
Yeah.
That might just pull Debbie in there after that comment.
You might get your full name mentioned with that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let me do this over this way. You know, to answer your question now, being serious about getting back to your question, John. First, I recommend maybe a 4 or 5 day cruise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's too much. If you're a first time cruiser, there's too much on a cruise ship to try to discover all in one thing. Basically, what you want to do is discover a little bit of this, and this, and try, first of all, discover if you like that cruise line.
It's true. You don't want to be stuck for 7 days.
I mean, you may not necessarily, you may find out you may like cruising. You just may not like that cruise line that you were on.
Makes sense.
You know, then you have to discover, I mean, depends on what your itinerary is too, because you may get an itinerary where you're doing a couple of ports. And most of these cruise lines now have their own private islands that they stop to, depending on how long they're cruise, how many days you're cruising. Like I said, my first cruise was on Carnival Elation, which is it's the smallest ship. It's the oldest of the fleet of Carnival. It's the smallest ship of the Carnival fleet, and but it still goes out of Jacksonville. But I loved it, you know, and it was things. I mean, you had pool parties that you could do. I mean, you had a dance club that you could do. I actually did on Sunday. They actually did part of the show. They couldn't do, it was actually like an aerobatic type of flip-flopping type of show, but they did the musical part of the show and certain other things they could do from the show. They couldn't do the first one because unfortunately we ran into bad weather off of the coast of Florida up around Jacksonville on Sunday. Sunday was our day at sea, which was a full day to travel back to port. So they couldn't do the first show, but I did get to explore that. I got to explore the shops on the front part of the ship. I mean, you know, so and you know, depending on which cruise you go, then you got to discover the different types of food. I mean, I had Guy Fieri's hamburger joint on the Carnival Elation, and trust me, if I wasn't there, I was at the buffet. If I wasn't at the buffet, I was at the pizza. If I wasn't at the pizza, I was back at Guy Fieri's.
Yep.
I think the plus, well, and here's the thing, and you know, and this is the thing about it. You got to understand that you are going to learn that it's like Disney. It's all about the food. You're all going to be eating. So that whole rule about gaining weight, just leave it on shore, because it's about eating. It's about having fun, and you're gonna end up. And the thing of it is, you can get some good food. I actually enjoyed. We did do the dining room once the first night. I mean, partially because both my parents ended up sick. Oh, they were well enough to do. Saturday we went to. Let's see, we left out of port on Friday. We got to Freeport. We did Freeport on Saturday. Mom and Dad was able to enjoy Freeport a little bit. Got sick. Next day we went to, or no, we did Nassau. I have to look. I can't remember now, but we went to the next port on Sunday, which the weather was on and off. You didn't know if it was going to rain or not because it was cloudy, and it ended up raining I'm kind of glad I stayed on the ship because it did rain that day. But mom and dad got sick. They were down in the room. So
Did
I
you get
ended up
seasick
just
or
walking
sick
around
sick?
the ship, enjoying the ship. And
Did they get seasick?
no, not seasick. They just ended
Oh,
up sick.
just sick. That's too bad.
Yeah, they ended up sick. They didn't end up
Right.
seasick. That was the
Yeah.
crazy thing of it.
Hello, David T.
Hello, David T. Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, so yeah, my recommendation is don't just explore your way around. I mean,
Yeah.
find what I mean, I mean, if you like to go to like depending on which cruise ships you go, you might if you like to go to the casinos, you do got the casinos to go to on some of these cruise lines.
Yeah, that's true.
If you like Broadway musical Cirque du Soleil type of shows, you're going to have those type of shows. If you like comedy shows, you're going to have like comedy clubs.
Yep.
If you like the interesting, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. You got nightly. I will put it nice and put the nice adult game shows that they do after 10 p.m. when all the little kiddies are
Yes.
tucked away in bed.
Yes. They didn't have that on
Yeah,
DV.
see, and that's what
DCL.
I was telling him. His question, Harlan, was what we would do. I mean, for a first-time cruiser, how long would you go? And my response is, and Tinkerbell would tell the same thing. Your first cruise should always be like a 4 or 5 day cruise because there's too much to discover on a cruise ship for the first time.
Yep.
Unless you're on Disney and then you already know about it, especially if you go on a Disney cruise and you're from the Disney community and you know what that's all about. And there you go.
Yeah. See, my experience is very limited because I've only ever been on one, and that was a Disney cruise line to Alaska. So that's such a unique line that I don't think I could convey any experiences to other people because it's so unique. So it's hard for me to.
You can do a point, but it's a different. Yeah, it's different. Disney Cruise Line is a whole different beast compared to your normal cruise lines like MSC, Princess, Celebrity,
Norwegian,
MSC. Oh, David T wanted to know, did you do the Wonder to Alaska?
Yeah, it was about, gosh, I want to say 2017. So about 8 years ago. It was a ball. It was great. It was basically a week trip up there. It was wonderful.
See, I recommend that too. I mean, and that's when something like that. That's when you recommend, okay, you do a little bit of extra because you may want time to do some excursions off in Alaska.
True. They dock
now, if you're doing
places.
a first time cruise and you're going to like the Caribbean, do a 4 or 5 day cruise until until you discover which cruise line you actually like. Because, like I said, David T, he's all about Disney Cruise Line. Harlan, he's all about Carnival.
Nice.
Next year, I'm going to do some MSC. One of my cruises, I'm going to try to do MSC. I'm hoping the other one, depending on what the family wants to do. And it could change again, too. We may end up doing Royal Caribbean. It depends on what kind of deals I can find for the family. I mean, like I said, I don't care if I stick them all in the interiors. All I know is this one is getting a balcony one to himself.
There you go.
I don't care if y'all want interior decks. Y'all do the interior. I'm doing me a balcony so I can my binoculars overseas.
There you go.
And you've done enough, David T, to be able to say that. I haven't. I know Harlan's done enough to experience, like he says, there's certain ones that he will never touch again. And I understand that. Well, and when you've done enough, and you can actually physically say that. Now, as a TA, I don't want to say that. I want everybody to try. I want you to discover what cruise lines
Sure.
you want. So I'm going to recommend all the cruise. I'm going to when I'm talking to a client, I'm going to look at all the best deals I can find from all the different cruises based on what they tell me, what they want on their itinerary. You know, like if like John, if he was to book through me, I would say, okay, I would recommend maybe trying MSC, Royal Caribbean, because you've experienced Disney, you know what
Yeah.
Disney's about. You come from a Disney background.
Yeah.
And the question is, do you want to do another Disney cruise or do you want to experience something different? And again, it depends on what your wants and what you're what you're wanting on your itinerary.
Yeah, and it depends on your family and the people going and their ages and blah blah blah. There's all kinds of stuff.
And a lot of it, and exactly. It just depends on. So you have to boil it down to what the whole itinerary is for whether it's one, if it's a single traveler or if it's a whole family, or if it's a whole shenanigan, whole clan of people coming.
Yeah. Hey, we should do a meetup
a whole
on
different clan of people. You're talking a whole different ball. You're talking a monster now. You're talking a whole different ball game.
We should do a meetup.
Are you doing a family reunion? Is it a group of people coming from a business?
Hey, we should do a Dave's Disney Dreams meetup on a cruise line. How about that?
The what?
A Dave's Disney Dreams meetup on a cruise line.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. We'll take over. Listen, we'll take over the ship. And in fact, I'll even put on
I don't know if we have that many people, but
I'll put on my captainship and stir the cruise. We're all good. I'm the new captain.
There you go.
Hello, mateys. I'm your new captain aboard the Disney.
You'd be like the captain on the Love Boat. How about that?
The Love Boat. Now we might be in trouble if I got a harem on the boat.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I didn't go there. Didn't go there.
Hey, okay, maybe a little bit of shenanigans tonight.
A little bit.
Now, nothing outrageous.
A little bit. That's okay. You can have a little bit.
But I mean, to be honest, truthfully, it would be. We all got to smile. That's about it. But honestly, it comes down to, it just depends on if you're a person that likes adventure. Well, then you need to find a cruise. You're going to want to find a cruise that might have excursions.
Sure.
Which most of your ships have different types of excursions. It would come down to, do you have ports that you want to stop at? I mean, are you talking about further away, like Paul and Stephanie? They're going to Grenada. I mean, which is further out west? It's in the Caribbean, but it's out in the western part of the Caribbean. I mean, do you want to go to those islands? Are you wanting to scuba dive? Are you wanting to snorkel? Are you wanting to sail? Are you just wanting to explore the islands and shops? So it comes down to what ports do you want to actually see? Or like me, honestly, if I am the only one, I'm going to tell you now when I come back and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to look and talk with my girl. I actually found a good MSC cruise outside, and it's on the seashore out of Port Canaveral for 5 days, 5 to 7 days, and it's all sea days. No ports, no nothing, all sea days.
That's pretty nice.
And that's my type of cruise where I'm just cruising on the open ocean.
That's right.
To me, that is a cruise. Now, see, that's something I like, but that's because I love the water. I enjoy the water. I don't have to go to a port. I don't have to go out and try to go see dolphins or I don't have to be,
Adventures.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be poor Mama D and have to stick around a big turtle riding across so that she can keep up with everybody going across the beaches. Okay.
Mama D
Now I'm
on a
dead.
turtle now.
I know it's coming.
Mama D on a turtle.
And she heard
Okay.
that. It's coming.
First it was
Give it a
trash
couple
cans, now
minutes.
it's turtles. Okay. But yeah, I'm with you. My idea of a good time is just sitting my butt down on a chair and just relaxing,
And
Otherwise,
me,
you need a
it's
vacation
about
after the
using
vacation.
the pools too. I don't mind using the pools.
Sure, that's fine.
Now, the ones that I would probably get a little wary are the adult pools, except, well, I will say, I'll rephrase that. The adult whirlpools, I get a little
Fair enough.
because of the
No more.
whirlpools were for the adults on the Elation. I wouldn't use it,
Fair enough.
but that doesn't mean
A lot of
if you're a
chlorine.
single couple, then by all means check it out.
You got to bring your own chlorine,
But,
right?
like the MSC, they've got the adult front pools on. When I took the tour of the MSC Seascape last October, the adult area, it's a good sized swimming pool for the adults, and it's beautiful. I'd use it. No question, no squalms, hands down.
Sure.
That's where I'd be.
But no whirlpool.
No whirlpool. Well,
Okay.
it had a whirlpool, but I can guarantee you it's a lot. Yeah, you wouldn't have the shenanigans going on that you would have had on the Elation.
You have to bring your own chlorine.
Again, I will tell you this. Carnival is probably one step up above the Virgin Cruise Lines as far as kind of being a party ship.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. That's why I'm saying if you like to party, then you might want to think like Virgin or Carnival. And don't get me wrong, Carnival is now it's trying to shape its image to it. You look at these newer ships that Carnival's coming out with high activities for families, because you're getting a lot more families on some of these newer Carnival ships.
Yeah.
And some of them are beautiful ships. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of
Carnival
competition
is
from
really
Disney
good.
too.
I mean, like I said, the experience that I had with Carnival, I had not one problem. Anything that I needed or I needed help, the crew was there. They were able to answer my questions. And believe me, the next cruise I go on to, the poor cruise members are not going to want to hear me because I'm going to be asking every crew in the book because of being a travel agent.
Right. Do you think Universal will
be
ever
going,
get into this business?
What the hell did we bring on this ship?
Yeah, who's that guy? Do you think Universal will ever get into this business?
No, I don't
Why
ever see Universal ever getting into. Universal will never.
No?
They have. But
they have enough IP now. They could probably get away with something.
They have, but they had to learn, Harlan. They didn't really have the experience when they first targeted. All your cruise ships, most of your cruise ships have some type of form of things for kids, even celebrity. Zippity doo Doug. Hello, buddy.
Hello, Doug.
Welcome in.
But going back to my question, why do you think Universal would not be welcome in that arena? Or do you think it's just outside their
Why
core
wouldn't Universal get into cruise lines? Because where Disney is more entertainment and wide open on entertainment. And so is Universal, but it's strictly more on movie entertainment.
Sure.
Now Disney is at everything.
Yeah.
Even though
it's obviously more family friendly.
Theme parks, and they are expanding them. I just don't ever see them. I think they're too. I think you look at the amount of cruise lines that are out there, the amount of cruise lines, and how the industry has grown, especially the last 4 or 5 years since we won't talk about that disaster of 2020.
Yeah.
But if you look at how the only thing
if you look at the only thing within the travel and tourism industry, which includes Universal Parks,
Yep.
Disney Parks, Six Flags, Cedar Point, all your theme parks, that's all included in your travel and tourism. The only thing that's been stabilized and growing, and I mean growing in big numbers, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying the parks haven't grown in numbers in some
Right.
ways. They
Right.
probably have, but not, they've been going up and down like this.
Sure. Yeah.
Cruise lines have been going,
Yeah.
and I mean, if you know what I'm doing with the things, here's the cruise lines numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Straight
get it.
up.
Yep.
Straight up. Theme
Well, that's
parks
why I'm
and
asking.
all
You know,
that,
why wouldn't Universal want a piece of that pie?
you would think they would,
Hmm.
but I think I think they're. To me, they probably understand that they're too late. Disney got
Could be.
into it.
Yeah.
Listen, cruising has always been around for years.
Mm-hmm. No, Disney's definitely captured the family segment. That's for sure.
Well, they got into it when cruising really became, up until the 80s and the 90s, and even then it was more late 90s, early 2000s when travel and tourism really took off.
Mm-hmm.
Up till then, travel and tourism as a whole. Now I'm talking everything: cruise lines, theme parks, national parks, camping, everything that goes within that field. It was an up and down because of economics.
Yeah.
You think about how hard it was in the 70s and 80s for families, economic wise. 90s, it had a stability of growing.
Right.
It was the mid 90s when the cruise lines really started shooting up.
Mm.
And that's when and Disney saw the potential for cruise lines.
Yep.
Because you had Royal Caribbean that's been around for years.
Yep.
You had Carnival that's been around for years. You got one or two other that's been around since the 30s. And yeah, some of these have been bought out and changed over from companies to companies, but have still been around all these decades since, the 30s. And think about it, even in the late 1800s, you had cruise ships coming between Europe and then the US. So, I mean, obviously you had the Titanic, you had the Carpathia,
Sure.
you had the Britannica, you had the Queen Mary. So cruise lines have always been around, but it wasn't until the mid 90s when cruise ships exploded. And it was slowly growing and slowly growing. But, then where the biggest expansion they've had on the cruise ships was after that thing we won't mention again from 2020.
So after 2023 or something like that, it started picking up like crazy. Yeah.
The last 3 to 4 years, the cruise lines have exploded.
And why do you think that
numbers, everybody's been one. Your numbers, everybody's been going away from any of the theme parks and have actually gone to taking cruises to Alaska, cruises to Australia, cruises to Europe, cruises to Hawaii, cruises over to Asia, and even up and down Caribbean cruises have dramatically skyrocketed. And I just don't see Universal at this time coming back to say, why don't we try to do unless they physically buy one of the medium-sized cruise lines.
Yeah.
I just think cruise lines have gotten too big for Universal to try to bust in to try to get a piece of the pie.
No, that makes sense.
I don't think they would try to bust into the piece of the pie. But I mean, what Harlan said is right. I mean, Carnival was the first cruise line to have the 24-hour restaurant and ice cream. The first one to do a dedicated comedy club, and they were right to have a onboard brewery.
And why do you think it really took off?
And each one bringing different ones. There's things that Disney are bringing that have forced Royal Caribbean, Carnival to think about their entertainment wise, because of what Disney has brought, started in 1996.
True.
I mean, Disney was the only thing was Disney was smart enough to see that how valuable cruises were. So they were able to buy in and get a piece of the pie when the cruise lines were still at an infancy. When I say infancy, they've been around for years, but it never had a really good expansion of growth like it has over the last 20, 30 years.
And why do you think it really took off in the last 2 or 3 years?
Economics.
Yeah.
Changes in the family values.
Yeah.
Changes in the way family wants to vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Become more adventurous, more educational, more traveling to learn about different places. It's not just one reason of why it's changed.
Right.
It's 10 million reasons why it has changed.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
But that's why I never, you will never see, unless they out of the blue and buy some medium-sized cruise lines, I don't ever see them doing it because I just don't see. I think there's too many now in that pie for
it's
them
saturated.
To try.
Yeah, it's saturated. I get it.
Hey, we got it. Speaking of the Godfather, hello, Pete. Welcome in, buddy.
Pete. Hello from the bus.
Yes.
Congratulations, Pete. You did great tonight.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations on your on reaching over 8,000, Pete. The stream was awesome.
Yeah, it was really great
you guys,
to see
you
so
guys
many
and all
people
your
there.
help and all your mods did a great job.
He really did, and he put a lot of heart and soul into it. So very proud of Pete.
And honestly, again, I will say this: as someone who has served, I thank you for your support to the military, for the military people that need the help.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I hate to see the fact that once half of once the issues are almost forgotten about in the newspapers, then the veterans are forgotten about. And
yep. Anyway, it was great to see so many friends. Oh, Dave, I think we lost you. Is it me? Dave, I can't hear you. Is it me? I don't think I touched anything. Can you all hear me, or can you hear Dave, or neither? Dave, say something so I can test. Can you hear me? Oh, I don't hear you, Dave. Did you hit mute? Oh, you can hear me, Doug? Okay. So, Dave, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to do some puppeteering and put some words in Dave's mouth, which I'm not up to right now. Oh no, it's just me now. Well, hello everybody. Well, welcome to Grand and Miraculous. No, I'm kidding. Dave should be back shortly, hopefully. He's off fixing some stuff. But yes, let me reiterate what Dave was saying. Pete had a spectacular stream tonight. And it was great to see so much support from all the folks, especially clustered around that Tron sign. And I'm really happy that Josh came over. And I don't know if you noticed, Pete, but some folks in Josh's chat started hitting your link. And hopefully we got some good donations that way too. So I was very happy about that. You guys did great. So I know you have one more day tomorrow in the parks. Hope you have a great day. And we look forward to seeing you back safe and sound at home. Here's Dave.
Now I know you can hear me.
There he is. I had to go.
I'm not even fighting it.
You're good now. We hear you loud and
clear.
clear.
Well, that's because I switched to my phone.
Okay.
It's not the equipment, Harlan. It's the connection that I have.
Yeah.
I'm using a mobile hotspot, and it just is not holding up on the. But yet it seems to be holding connection for the internet. I just don't know if it's. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to wait till I see when I get the system home.
Well, it works just beautifully on your phone for what it's worth. You look great. You sound good.
Yeah, well, that's my trusty phone.
Yeah.
That's because I'm on my phone, Debbie.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna fight it. I just moving along, and we keep it going.
Good ride along like the Muppets.
You know how it works with IRLs. Things always go wrong.
Well, I thought that we would have to do the puppeteering thing where you move your mouth and I'll have to put some words into your mouth. I wasn't prepared for that, Dave. I don't know what to say.
Well,
I don't have enough time.
I'll have to make sure that you know to say that by next summer, I plan on being retired traveling with 10 brunettes on the left, 10 blondes on the right, 10 redheads behind me.
Okay.
With my laptop and my margarita in my hands.
There you go. Goals, my friend. It's good to have goals.
Exactly. Always.
Well, let's see how to make that happen, I guess.
Oh, I'm working on it. On it.
Do we have any 10 redheads in the chat? Can help Dave out? I don't know.
I highly doubt that. And I'm not sure my girlfriend would like that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. David T. If you can dream it, you can do it.
Exactly, David. See, there you go. See, David T got the idea.
Gotta have some.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
I don't think that's what Marty Sklar had in mind when he wrote that book, but you never know. You never know.
Hey, listen. See, you can't trust Vegas anymore. But, of course, yeah, I will say, you know what? I was about to say you could trust cruise lines, but you know what? The way everything ends up on YouTube anymore, you can't even. It used to be you could go on a cruise and anything that happens would stay on a cruise. Not anymore.
No. What happens in Vegas?
Because half the times you're looking at dock runners trying to catch the ship as the ship's going.
Yeah.
Well, hi, we're leaving you. Toot, toot.
Well, everybody has a gimbal now, so it's impossible to keep things where they stay, So.
No, it's crazy as what it is. That's what do you expect?
But it's good to hear your opinion on the.
Anyways, let me see. Where were we?
We were talking about potentially Universal getting into the game.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Why I don't think you'll ever see. I just think the pie is too big now.
Yeah,
and the bigger players have majority of the pies. That's why I don't think you'll ever see Universal getting it because it's the way from where the cruise lines have come in the mid '90s to where they are now. There's just too many players even Disney has a good chunk of that number. I mean, you look at the numbers from last year.
What's our market share now?
Disney has most of the people, but Royal Caribbean brought in more money.
Interesting. Huh.
Believe it or not, Royal Caribbean brought in more money, but Disney has the numbers.
So how did they get more revenue? Do they charge more? It's hard to believe.
It's probably because Royal Caribbean can charge a little bit more than what Disney does.
Sure. Interesting. That's hard to believe given how much Disney charges.
Because right now, the top two, believe it or not, the top two cruise lines are Disney and Royal Caribbean. They are pretty much neck and neck.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
They are pretty, because Royal Caribbean saw about it. You look at the entertainment that they're putting into their ships, especially the Icon.
Yep.
You've got the Wonders of the Sea. You got the Stars of the Seas coming out later in the next month or two, which is the next Royal Caribbean ship, which is another Icon class ship.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Now, the thing of it is, it's a little bit smaller than the Icon itself, but still, everything that they put into it, you can see them trying to match things with Disney.
Sure.
Just
Good for us.
now they are, they're just doing it a different way.
Sure.
Because obviously they don't have the IPs that Disney has that they can do with the characters.
Sure. But for adults,
let me see. What did Dave say? Dave, next cruise is October. When I'll be on the Steamboat Belle of Louisville for the steamboat race between the Belle of Louisville.
Nice.
Nice, David T.
That's fun.
Ooh. Man, well, you need to stream it so I can watch it. That would be cool to see. To me, steamboats are probably one of the best. There's something about steamboats. I love steamboats. Doot, doot. And then we just need to put Steamboat Willie up in front of the thing.
Hey, that's who we should dress you up as in Maryland. You said you wanted to come as a
No,
costume
I don't think.
So.
Only if you want to make everybody die of laughter.
We can dress you up like Steamboat Willie. And then,
Yeah. Only if you want to see people die of laughter.
hey, it'll work. But that's it. It's a very interesting industry. I'm glad that you have provided us some valuable information about it because it's hard to keep up with it.
And it is. I mean, I'm telling you, honestly, that, and that's what I was telling, that's why I keep telling people, I said, I love the Disney community. It's just my focuses right now are becoming more focused and they're really focusing on cruises.
Yep.
And, I'll still do, Ireland's never been on a steamboat. Oh my goodness. I have been on one steamboat. I've done the steamboat along the Chattanooga River along the Tennessee, Alabama line.
How was that?
Down in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
How was that?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was just it was about an hour and a half cruise.
Oh,
It would just go up. Now it wasn't a full cruise like probably what David T is going to be doing, but the steam.
So it was a short run. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a short one, but it still was a steamboat, and it was just I loved it. There's something about the cruise that it was magnificent.
That's awesome. I need to do that someday.
Well, that's why I really want to do the Mississippi. I actually want to book a cruise on a Viking cruise ship on the Mississippi and do the big Mississippi River cruise ships.
Now I need to watch that movie. What was that movie with Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster on the ship? Maverick, I think. I need to watch that. They were on a steamboat, right, for that movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think because they've done I know Jodie Foster and Mel Gibson have done at least 2 or 3 movies because all I keep popping in my mind is seeing him. Mel Gibson is Maverick and Jodie Foster is that girl that on that one.
It's called Maverick. Yeah.
I can't remember. Of course, the Belle of the Louisville used to race the Delta Queen before the Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, that's it. It was Maverick. They were on a steamboat in Maverick.
Yeah.
That's where they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was right. It was Maverick.
I need to watch that again. That was fun. Not Top Gun Maverick. That's
Thank you, Jason.
Different.
You confirmed what I was already saying.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I remember because they were actually the Delta. Somebody was trying to buy. Somebody was actually trying to buy and restore the Delta Queen. I don't know if it's ever been restored or not. I know somebody was working on it at one time. I think I need to recheck that.
That would be quite a project.
Because the Delta Queen on the Mississippi, I know the Delta Queen has one of the most unique histories as far as steamboats.
Hmm. That's one area I don't know much about. I need to read up on.
Oh,
It's an interesting.
see, and that's why I hate to see. That's why I'm having a hard time swallowing about the Liberty Bell going away at Disney World.
Yeah,
Because I love the Disney. I mean, I know it was just a short cruise around the
sure,
frontiers land, but I loved it. It just
there was a reason Walt put that in there, and now we're going to lose it. Which, the park will never be finished. He said that. He said that will continue to evolve and get better over time, but it still hurts when you lose something like that.
Yeah, it does. I mean, especially, for me, I personally, if this was to all go away and we were to all get off the grid and go back to the colonial days,
yeah,
I'd be one hell of a happy camper.
Now, I think when Walt said that, I don't think he envisioned getting rid of Main Street, getting rid of Tomorrowland, getting rid of Adventureland. I don't think that was in his head.
I don't think that was in his head either.
Sure, we're going to have some changes over the years, but let's not rip out the heart of the park.
Well, they're ripping. I mean, the part of it is they're ripping up that part of the park.
Yeah. So we'll see. It'll still be vaguely kind of sort of Frontierland-ish, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. But if I remember right, though, I thought they were going to update the Delta Queen to where she could sail again down the Mississippi. Somebody was supposed to buy the Delta Queen and redo her and upgrade her to where she could actually be put back on the rivers, I thought, David T. I'll have to look at that. Because I swore I thought somebody was buying the Delta Queen to refurbish her.
Now, Dave,
because I do it. You're right. I understand what they did. It was because of the law written for ocean liners. The steamboats were pretty much put out of commission, unless they got upgraded and held to a certain standard. I mean, obviously they couldn't change everything about this. Some things would be grandfathered in, but they still had to hold up to a certain safety structural on the steamboats, and that's why they were taken out of commission.
Now, Dave, have you ever been to the Queen Mary out in Long Beach and visited it?
No, I need to go visit the Queen Mary. I would love to go visit.
You gotta do that before it sinks. For a while it was it was kind of in danger because there wasn't enough funding to maintain it, and there was in serious danger of sinking right there in Long Beach. Thankfully, I think they found some funding and they're keeping it up to date now. But yeah, that's a lot of history on that boat. Whew.
We're still waiting to see if California is going to sink in anyways into the ocean. But I mean, those fault lines, how they act.
Yeah, but for a while it was touch and go. They didn't. There was a large hole started forming in the hull, and they were seriously worried about it sinking into the Long Beach harbor.
Oh, I mean that's why everybody's so hopped up on the Titanic right now, because she's slowly but surely dissipating at the bottom of the ocean.
Yep. But yeah, there was
But this new information that they found out about certain things about have been interesting. Heard the Queen Mary was haunted. Yeah, they say that the Queen Mary was haunted.
They used to do a tour there, to kind of hype up the haunted nature of it. There was a certain pool, the first class pool they claim was haunted. So you can take a tour and go visit around there. It's fun.
Hey, as long as we can find ghosts on there, I'd be happy. Come here, ghosties. I'll even wear my ghost patch.
I've been in those areas. It's a little creepy. I don't know that I've felt paranormal or anything, but it's a neat tour. It's fun to go visit.
No, but yeah, I wish they would reenact. But I swore they were trying to upgrade the Delta Queen. I really need to look at it. If I ever get up that way around the Halloween time, I might try to, David T. But my problem is I already work at a high school and it's already a nightmare.
Already
So I don't
haunted.
really need to go to a school that's haunted.
There you go.
I got 1,200 kids that haunt me every day, messing up grounds, messing up classrooms, messing up bathrooms.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, so that in itself is a true automatically haunted house, except that they're just live.
Are they done for summer yet?
Yeah, they're done. They've been our school's been done since the 23rd of May.
My kids.
We actually let's see, they actually go back in less than 2 months for us.
So early August.
Early August, they go back for us.
Yeah, that's fun.
Can't you see me smiling?
Oh yeah, my kid still has another week, but I don't think they go back until late August, early Sep.
Oh, your kids are still in school then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Another week to go. Yep.
Oh, wow.
I don't know
See,
why some
some
school districts do it so differently.
are. You could be the next Charlie the janitor. Oh, jeez. I'm not sure I want to do that, David T. Though, I don't know. It might be fun if I can scare some kids.
Now, what's worse, Dave?
Huh?
What is worse, cleaning up a school or cleaning up a Disney park?
I'd rather clean up a Disney park.
Yeah.
Because at least there you got a full, you get a full crew, and it's not, you don't have the bathrooms destroyed.
Nah, that's true. That's true. Although I've seen some close calls.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with you. There's some close calls because you do have some people that, well, they're.
Oh yeah, I've seen people
mentally,
changing diapers at the sink,
but
and all kinds of stuff.
They're, you have an easier cleaning process for Disney than what we do for our schools, and trust me.
Yeah.
Mine would be like this: if we could rebuild a school in a day, where's the nearest atom bomb?
Nah, it's a lot easier to just wipe it.
Okay, rebuild the next school.
Start from scratch. Hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well.
And no, that I don't want to be Charlie. No, I don't want to be that Charlie. Nope.
Oh
Nope.
my.
Nope. That's not me. That's for sure not me. Hey, Dave Stragan, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you.
Hope you're doing
well. It's always good to see you, bud.
Yeah, I don't think we'll go into that story, David.
Yeah. Well, he does a haunted house every Halloween up in Hawaii. That's what it is. That's what he's talking about. I know what he is. I know what he's talking about.
Those haunted tours are sometimes fun if you're in the right frame of mind.
If I'm going to do a haunted tower, I'll probably do the ones that I like, the haunted tours that and I still have to try that. I need to try the haunted. The only tour I haven't done in St. Augustine is a haunted bar tour. That's what I need to do. I need to do the haunted bar tours.
So how does that work? Is it just a bar crawl? Would that happen to be haunted bars or what?
Oh, bars that are supposed to be haunted.
Okay.
So, but you go visit them.
That works.
Hey, and the worst thing is you just have a drink with the ghost.
Yeah, that's right. And if you drink
there
more, you start seeing them.
Up to the bar, ghost. We're having happy hour right now. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And
the more you drink, the more ghosts you see.
That could be true too.
and that's how you.
That could be true too.
That's how you get your 10 blondes and your 10 redheads and your 10.
Here's the thing. Oh, let's see. How went on a haunted tour in Halifax. A spirit knocked me down, and one of my really.
Wow.
See, here's the thing. I truly don't believe in spirits, but I do believe things that happen that can't be explained, because I'm going to tell you, I did the tour around the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know for a fact that 2 kids were drowned because they went down on a mine rail car.
Oh, wow.
And it went down the track, fell off, and fell into the thing. And the workers tried to rescue them, but the problem was the mine car, when it flipped over, it flipped on top of the kids underwater, trapping them underneath.
That's horrible.
And if you've ever know the old mine cars, so those are heavy. They're heavy, and they wouldn't have the big machineries that we have today to be able to quickly lift them up off of it, and the kids drowned. And so now you got the story of a lighthouse person that's haunting there. They've seen soldiers walking around the main house where the lighthouse keeper would stay. There's been you've heard noises and stories of girls around the park that's right there by the lighthouse. And the tour I did, I actually got a glowing orb where there was no lights at all.
Oh,
there should not have been no lights. It could not have been, and I didn't use my flash. So I knew it wasn't my flash off of anything reflective. But it's an orb floating right in the middle. And to me, I still think there's some logical explanation, but I don't know enough about cameras to actually do it. I wish I had that picture. I would show Tina and see what Tina thought about it.
You can get on the old Art Bell radio show and talk about it. There's I don't know what I clicked on, but on YouTube, I'm starting to get all these videos talking about weird people who've gone into caves and got stuck in caves. Apparently, there are a bunch of channels that just talk about these stories over and over again, and it's kind of weird how many channels there are.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about cave diving? Is that what you're talking about?
Cave diving and also normal caving. Yeah. There are all these channels.
Well, see, that's not surprising because caves are so intertwined and they go back. It's not surprising because I have a teacher at the school that I work at whose husband does cave diving and teaches diving and all that. And they do cave diving. And they said they've gotten themselves to where they've almost gotten into trouble into dive caving. So they don't do as much cave diving as they used to. But legitimately, that is a risk when you're doing cave diving.
Oh, I wouldn't.
That's why I want to learn to dive. I just don't want to learn to cave dive.
There's no way you can get me ever into one of those, even with no water. I mean, it's just horrific.
If I'm going to go out, I want to be on a Navy vessel, go down with the ship. And so if I'm going to drown, at least put me on a cruiser or a destroyer where I can fight an enemy and go down with the ship.
Because most of these stories,
that's an honorable way of going.
These cave divers, they'll go into a cave and they'll mess
really hard. Art Bell.
Yep. Art Bell was a late night radio host. Have you heard of him, Dave?
I might have. I can't remember. I won't say specifically. I have for sure.
I just remember listening to him on very late night drives. He'd be off talking about aliens or something like that. It was kind of fun to listen to.
Oh, kind of like this podcast where aliens land on cruise ships.
Yeah, but he took it seriously and he treated it.
I don't take it serious.
Yeah, but it was fun to listen to at night.
Harlan even used to listen to a show. There you go. So some people do. Yeah. I mean, when you get people like that, though, it's like you listen to them. It's like, it's their choice to believe in what they believe. But I mean, it's hard to.
I get you. But
Well,
he also had the people who came on who did ghost. They went into supposedly haunted places with video cameras and microphones and things like that, and they talked about.
Oh, I always loved those shows.
Yeah.
I never believed them.
Right.
Never believed them, but I watched them.
Yeah.
Now, do I believe things? You can experience things that can't be explained. Yeah. Like I said, I've gone to people that know about cameras. I've gone to the people that ran the tour, and even the picture, my picture, they look at it and they go, "We can't explain it. We have never seen anything like this." They've gotten pictures from people where it looked like people walking or bodies of people and things like that, but they never got it. They have never ever at that point in time. I mean, maybe they have now, but they had never. I mean, if you go to Facebook, I don't know if you look at Facebook. If you go to the St. Augustine Lighthouse, go back to about. You'd have to check if they still have the pictures up. Go back to between 2010, 2012. You'll see a picture that I donated to them to let them to have. And it'll show the orb. And that, like I said, I could not explain it because I know what a flashback looks like.
Yeah.
Normally, your pictures would be a little bit gray when you get a flash off of something shiny. It would be. You'd still get a picture, but it would be kind of crazy. But this was just an orb out of nowhere.
Some
It's just something weird. An orb right in the middle of the dark center where you should not get no lights.
Wow.
Not even a reflection off of a pole, a door, a railing, nothing.
Yeah. And did you have flash on at the time, or it was a non-flash picture?
Yeah, and I didn't use it. And that's the other thing. I didn't use the flash.
Oh, you didn't use a flash. Interesting.
I didn't use the flash.
Wow.
That was the first thing.
Yeah.
If it was the flash, I would have looked at it and said, hell, that was the flash.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't use the flash.
Huh. Well, that's creepy.
I'll have to go back and look on Facebook to see if I can look it up.
And it wasn't a particularly long exposure, right? It was just a normal picture that you took.
Yeah. With one of those, those disposable cameras.
Yeah.
So it had nothing.
Huh.
And that's the other thing I took into the account that, maybe something got distorted, but the picture itself, the rail, you could see the railing, you could see the upstairs porch, you could see everything else clear. It was just that orb of light that was there, and I couldn't explain it.
Yeah. Did you feel anything weird at the time? You didn't feel any spirits or any paranormal activity?
Nothing out of the normal.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was a little chilly.
Yeah. That's fine.
But I'm trying to remember, was it chilly that night? Maybe. I don't think it was chilly that night. Maybe there was something weird going on.
Maybe you were kept warm by the alien orb.
Yeah, I was getting haunted by an orb.
Hello.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Unusual things. I'm not saying it was a ghost. I'm not saying it was a spirit. It was just one of those things that sometimes you can't. There are things happen. There's pizza house. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh,
sure it was a ghost? It'd be like that scene in Ghostbusters where he's.
No one is saying, Jonathan. Nobody is saying you're an alien.
I'm joking.
Jonathan, and then Pete. No,
a ghost, but not an alien.
Never mind. Debbie's already on it. It must be getting near midnight, John, because now the strange things are starting to happen.
3 minutes left. So.
Oh, no wonder it's that. Ben chosen. Leave it to David T. Okay.
So it could have been worse, Dave. Instead of an orb, you could have seen a naked ghost.
Well, now it depends on what kind of naked ghost.
That's true.
Now, if it was a guy, I'd be going.
Now if it was the opposite,
You never know.
sex, then I'd be going, hello.
Or it still might be this, you never know. So
I don't know.
some ghosts you don't want to see. Yes, there's an orb right there.
I wish if there was, I'd know, David T, because I can see my camera behind me.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 in all. 10 redheads. There you go. But they're only in your imagination, Dave. That's why they're ghosts.
Yeah, well, at least that orb is there's a reason for that orb behind John. That's a legitimate orb that sits there every day since it was built in 1982, 84.
See, you do have 10 redheads behind you, but they're imaginary. So there you go.
Well, they're in David T's imaginary because I know I don't see them. I just see my bed.
Yep.
My Cheetos, my clothes I still have to put away that I did from laundry on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. There's a UFO right here. That's what's going on. That's why it's called Spaceship.
Oh, the aliens landed in the big orb. Okay, that's what it is.
There you go. David
That's
T.
wearing your 3D Muppet vision glasses. Leave it to David T.
Did you smuggle those out?
Oh my! I'm so glad Jen's not into all this stuff.
You're so glad what?
Yeah, apparently Debbie, apparently Mama D's listening.
Oh yeah, she's always listening. She's like Roz, always listening. You got to keep on your best behavior, Dave. That's the problem.
I'm always on my best behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know what she keeps saying. Why I'm never behaving.
Well, you've lost your halo, or I guess your halo. You have it tonight.
Nope, I got my halo right there.
That's right.
Dun 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, dun.
So as long as you have your halo, we're all safe. But once
That's
you
right.
lose that, yep.
See, I'm being innocent, and I'm not causing havoc tonight.
No, innocent with the 30 women around you. Sure. See, she's always listening. She cops to it.
Right.
She's.
Even she knows I'm being. Even she knows I'm an angel.
Debbie is our guardian angel. She keeps us on a straight and narrow.
She is.
Yes.
She keeps all you guys. She's got to keep all you. I feel sorry for her. She's got to keep you all straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good. So
Right. Yes.
Okay. Now I'm waiting to fire back. Now I'm waiting for the return answer.
It's like sending off a Morse code signal. Now you have to wait for this.
And about that, yeah. Something like that. But how do we go from cruises to ghosts?
I have no idea how that happened. Naked ghosts.
Yeah.
Naked ghosts. So David Angel. Look at that emoji.
I know what that emoji is.
Yeah.
You know it's true, Dad, Mama D. You know it's true.
Just because you have a halo doesn't mean you're an angel. Yes, I did mention the Queen
we
Mary.
mentioned the Queen Mary.
It's a very, very fun ship to visit, if only for the historical aspects of it. There's a lot of history that happened on that boat.
And if you really wanted to get haunted, and neither have I, Harlan, and I don't particularly care to see one.
Aren't all ghosts naked? I mean, none of them technically wear clothes, I guess.
So I have no idea what Pete was talking about.
Yeah, he just dropped. That was a hit and run right there. He dropped that in chat and just ran away.
That's okay. That's what makes it fun when he does that.
That's right.
Because it goes to show you he's always watching too.
Always
even when you think even when you don't think Pete's not, when you think Pete's not watching, he's watching.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Did you see those people in front of him make a hubbub right before fire?
You know what? That irritates me.
That was weird, right?
Hey, I saw spirits too, but they were in glass bottles, and unfortunately, I downed some of the spirits.
Did you today?
Not today.
Okay, not today. All right.
Oh, geez, $999. I think those are. I think they're kind of clove, David T. At the $999 Happy Haunts. I'm not sure Disney would.
Yeah, I don't think they would allow.
Yeah, I don't think they would. Oh, what was it?
I guess
Oh,
Madame
talking about
Leota.
that incident. Yeah.
Madame
I
Leota's
cannot believe that lady went off and did that to Pete.
That's a little awkward.
That irks me.
Yeah, irked. That's a great word. That's a $2 word right there.
That royally irks me when they did that.
Very
I'm like,
well.
are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah, some people. You gotta. Yeah, I'm not going to excuse it, but
I might have said something out loud. I might have. I would have been right with Doug because I probably would have said something mean.
it is what it is. There are always going to be people like that. You just have to brush it off. Enjoy your day.
It was a lady with the ears who was the instigator. She kept looking back and turning to the other one, and yeah, exactly.
You know, sometimes
That's exactly who John was talking about, David T.
You know, I don't know if you ever watched them, but there are these people who go, they take gimbals into public places, and inevitably there's someone who becomes a fire starter, right? They'll start some kind of an argument, or they'll whip other people up. Hey, look at that person! They're filming, you know, and then the fire just grows from there. It's almost a pattern you can see.
Yeah, and Pete was just minding his business. They were all having fun, and it just.
Yeah. But you're going to have these fire starters that come in, and they'll just whip stuff up because they have nothing better to do.
Well, they better be praying. Hope I'm not carrying my flamethrower, because then I'll give them really something to fire up. Roasted duck.
Yep. But you know,
now, you wanted to start a fire? There you go.
Yeah, David T. Yeah, it's like that.
Exactly. That's what a lot of it is. And here's the thing.
You're in public, of course.
Yeah.
You don't need people. Don't need permission.
But I can guarantee you, most of us try not to film people.
Sure.
Without their, most of us try to avoid filming people.
Sure.
But when you're standing up and moving around like they were, seriously, you're going to get filmed.
Yeah. And,
So if you don't want film, keep your wide load sit down on your chair and keep your wide load sit.
You're in the Magic Kingdom, one of the most crowded places on Earth, with the most number of visitors.
And everybody films. Everybody uses film. Even if you're not doing like a lot of the streamers, a lot of people are taking their film and recording it with their.
The castle is the most recorded. I've read this. It's the most filmed and recorded and photographed thing on Earth, I believe. So to have an expectation that you're not going to be on someone's camera, come on, give me a break.
She was on the camera, all right.
Yeah.
and the thing is, Pete didn't need the wide lens. He was already wide enough.
No comment. No comment.
I'll comment.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous when someone says,
I don't understand. I don't understand people like that. That was just outright ridiculous.
The weird people are the ones who come up to the camera and they say, "Excuse me, I don't want to be on camera." I'm like, hello, you came up to the camera to say this. You could have enjoyed your day and just gone about your day. I don't know. Some people makes me lose faith in humanity.
I think some people just want to do that so they can get on film, and they just want to. They want to be what we call Karens.
Yeah, It's true. What do you do? What do you do? They just don't understand that their behavior will be on YouTube for all time. It's kind of weird. Like this.
Well, just mind your own business. I mean, if you know he's not recording.
And even if he is, who cares? I mean, it's none of your business.
Exactly.
It's not like, you know, people are stalking you across the park, following you. Give me a break.
I don't want to be recorded, but I'm being recorded right now.
I just think it's ridiculous, you know, in the most photographed place on earth to have that kind of reaction is
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to add that argument. I don't want to be recorded right now. Oh, wait,
There you
I'm
go.
already recording myself. So too
You're
late.
the one who did it. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
My own
It's a little
fault.
late now.
Yeah, I just don't understand people.
David.
Have a great night, David T. Happy Father's Day to you too, buddy. Have a
right.
great Father's Day today and enjoy.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Have a great Sunday.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
welcome, David T. It's been, you know what? It's I'm loving it. We talked about cruises. I don't know
Ghosts.
how we ended up on naked ghosts
Naked
and all
ghosts,
that, but we're
Yeah. It's true.
the good thing is nobody's got a soundbite of me, Jonathan, and no
Yeah.
one ever will. So y'all
There's
can
hours
you
of
can keep
soundbite.
that soundbite thing to yourself.
You know, they have AI now. They can replicate your voice. So they can have you
Nobody
say-
can replicate my voice because
Oh.
my voice goes up and down. It's different pitch tone. Thank goodness it'll never be the same.
That's right.
Well, happy birthday to your mother, Harlan.
Yes. Happy birthday. And to all the dads on the East Coast, happy early
Yes,
Father's Day.
happy. Yeah, to all the dads on the East Coast, happy Father's Day.
That's
Because
right.
it is now officially Father's Day
Including Pete.
for us on the East Coast.
I'm still on the
Central,
West
it'll be
Coast.
in about 52 minutes.
I'm on the West Coast where us dads don't matter.
Oh, wait, no. 48 minutes. 49 minutes.
See, Dave, us dads don't matter yet. It'll be another hour, 2.5 hours until we matter. Dave doesn't go that high. That's kind of a personal question.
I got 2 words for that, Mr. Jonathan. Hell no.
Well, it depends what the kids
You-
at school do.
Listen, nobody, and I mean nobody is ever getting a soundbite of me. They've had their chances, and I've seen things, and I've had things. I've done things where I've typed in things wrong. Yeah, there have been plenty of times people that could have gotten sound bites in pictures, but you didn't take advantage. So it is never, and I mean never, happening. Ever.
Jonathan, you got to clip that.
I'll do it the opposite. I'll go
Do
deep.
it the bottom up? I don't know about that. See, Joel Payne has nothing on you. You could do the ghost host narration yourself.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what happens when you got a good singing range.
it all depends how many of those spirits you drink first, I guess.
Yeah, who knows?
Yep. We'll see what happens in Maryland. Maybe we'll get you up on stage.
And no, that ain't happening either. See, Jen thinks she's gonna get me on stage, but that ain't happening either.
No? Okay. Are you back? Jesse Jonathan's comment.
You know, Jonathan, you're pushing your luck again tonight for a timeout. I don't know how it happened the last time, but I know I can make it happen this time.
Well, he's talking about the little ghost at the end. You know. the
Yeah,
small one.
he's talking about that little.
Yeah.
He's
That's
talking
okay.
about the wife ghost going.
Death certificate.
Hurry back.
That's right.
Hurry back. Except in a higher pitched tone, which
Well,
I won't give him because he is not getting no stupid soundbite.
Yeah.
Because not knowing that Pete's hanging around, and if I say one crazy thing, could end up on. It could be on the first soundbite. Next thing next time he's home doing a stream.
Mm-hmm. Craps table. Okay, we could do that. I like craps. It's a good game. Do you play craps, Dave?
No, I don't play craps.
No,
I
you don't?
actually, if I do gamble, which is far and in between, I
Mhm.
usually stick to like the penny slots.
Sure. Now, see,
Now
I
I've
can't
hit it.
stand
Believe it
slots.
or not, though, I've actually hit it kind of a decent amount of. I've hit the slots a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Come
You've had
out
success?
decent ahead. I think the most I ever won on a big slot because I try to switch it around on the betting things,
Mm.
and I actually bet the higher end on the penny slot, and I actually walked away with about $600 one time.
Wow. From pennies? That's impressive.
Yeah, got
See,
lucky,
I
but
can't stand slot machines. I don't know why, but they just bore me to tears within a minute.
Jonathan, you are getting yourself into a world of trouble, buddy.
Wow.
You are just pushing the edge. I'm going to have to ask Mama D to take care of you before I have to.
Well, the problem is he already has his full name and the username, so it's not like Debbie can say.
Well, it's not like she knows my full name.
True.
She does. I think she does know my middle name, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the witching hour. Oh, gee.
Yeah, nice try.
I know it's the witching hour, but I can be the devil hour.
Dave, do you ever play any table games at the casino, like blackjack?
No, I never have.
No? Okay.
Because I would never have no luck at those.
Yeah.
I mean, I do okay when I'm just playing straight up card blackjack and that.
Sure.
I'm okay, but
Yeah.
if it came to the card table blackjacks,
Yeah.
I'd be walking out of there with no clothes on
Yeah. Well,
because I will bet everything.
Yep. I have zero. First of all, I have zero luck at slots. And second of all, they bore me to tears. So I need to be at the table.
Now, have I thought about playing them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crossed my mind here and there, but then I'm going, no, you got to have a lot of money to be able to play those tables because it takes.
Well, something like
because
blackjack,
I'm going to tell you, 98% of the time the house wins on those tables.
I wouldn't. No, that's not accurate. On blackjack, you're not going to lose 98% of the time, but you'll win like 49% of the time. So there is a house edge, of course. But more often than not, you'll win one, you'll lose one. You'll win one, you'll lose one, and you'll roughly cruise along.
That's why I like my slots because when I know I'm starting to win, and if I hit something big, that's when I go, I'm done and walk away. I go get me a nice Coca-Cola, sit at the bar, watch sports, and say, I'm done, and I keep my money.
That's how you do it. Walk away once you have a win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The people who bet it all once they win something.
Now, most of the time I end up losing, and I usually set an amount between 20 to 40 to lose, but then I don't go above it. Once I hit that amount, then I say done.
Now here's the
thing.
The
house edges is not that high. If it was,
it wouldn't be 98%. That would be ridiculous.
What is he saying? That house edge is not that high. If it was, no one would play. Well,
If it
and
were
you're probably
98%,
right. You're
that means
probably
you-
right, Harlan. It's probably not that high,
Yeah,
but I know it's
it's high though. That's how they make their money. They don't win their they don't build those casinos on winners.
But
Right?
you consider how many people are playing, plus you consider the house.
Yep. There's always a house edge.
Yeah, most of the time the house had
Right.
the edge on it.
Now, Dave, I get into this argument with my father. My father, as brilliant as he is, he likes to insist, "Oh, I have this wonderful new system." I'm like, "Oh God, okay, Dad, what's going on?" He said, "Every time you lose, you double your bet." I'm like, "Yes, Dad, that's a well-known system. It doesn't work." No. It's
No,
gotta
that's
work
how you
eventually."
double lose it. That's how you double lose your pants off, yeah, and you walk out of the casino naked.
Exactly. And I always engage in this argument with him. I'm like, no, mathematically, the wheel doesn't have a memory. It's going to have the same odds every time.
No, I mean, because Harlan is right. I mean, you got the house edge is not that high. I mean, you got a slight percentage chance of winning, but how many other players are playing? So then you got that even in your winning percentage drops even more because you got players next to you that could win.
Yeah, even if they have a 1% edge.
See, even Harlan says, look at Harlan, what Harlan said. Even Harlan says he's seen people lose $1,000 that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go.
There's no such thing
doubling your bet is not the way to do it.
Nope. That's a well-known system. It's called the Nightingale, and it will bankrupt you before you know it. It's a terrible idea. But yeah, I mean, the house edge will always get you in the end. There's no escaping it. So as long as you go there with that in mind and you have a good time, that's the important thing.
Right. And then here's the thing: if you do, I mean, and if you
sorry, not Nightingale, Martingale. Thank you, Harlan. I was thinking of the bird, but yes.
And the thing of it is, if you go in there with that, and you set yourself an amount to stop at,
yep,
it won't be so bad.
Sure.
Now, who knows? Maybe you may get lucky and you have winning hands most of the night, and you walk away more.
Yeah,
but when you start winning more, that's when you say, "I'm done. I'm push away from the table. Okay, time to go get me a Coca-Cola."
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola break.
Yep. That's smart.
Because I have done that. I have done that myself, even on the slot machines where I've gone ahead and then I continue to play and end up losing everything.
But this is why they put that big board by the roulette table that shows the history. It's like 36, 24, whatever it is, right? Red, green, red,
right.
Red, green. Because they want people to see, hey, look, it's been 5 reds. It's got to be green next time or black next time. I'm like, no, the wheel doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. So everything is very well planned. There's a reason for everything in a casino, even the carpeting.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Harlan says the house edge at roulette is somewhere near 8%. Yeah, I wouldn't know about the roulette because I have never done a roulette and I never will do a roulette for sure. If I was to do any tables, it would be blackjack.
I think either blackjack,
because blackjack you stand a better edge, and now you do stand a better edge at blackjack than you do.
I think
because the only problem is with the blackjack, it depends on how many more players you got as to your winning percentage that you have a shot at.
I think that's only true if you count cards. I don't know that that's true if you don't count cards. But
anyway, on which one?
On blackjack.
On blackjack?
Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Blackjack and I think Baccarat have the best odds. And you can actually beat the house if you count cards in blackjack, which is why they kick people out who count cards.
Well, yeah, and it's hard to count the cards because you don't know what cards they.
Oh, you lost your light. You're still here. You just lost your light. The orb went out. Oh no.
Oh, I know what it is. It's sitting too long. My mouse didn't move.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Right. Wow.
it just it was the screensavers kicking on,
I get you.
so it don't burn into the screen.
Yeah, but blackjack, I mean, it's probably one of the better games.
Let's see, house at edge at craps is 1.42% on pass line bets, 1.39% if you play the don't pass.
See, the thing about craps is that 99% of the table is awful. You just want to restrict your focus to one or two good bets. The rest of the table is just garbage. That's why they call it craps, because it's crap.
That's why I don't play craps, because I wouldn't even know what I was doing at it.
Yeah.
Again, if I was to do anything, it would be blackjack, because even I know if you read the cards and you look at your opponent's cards, you got a slight edge chance of getting what you need.
Well, there's a
because anything you know is that if it's 16 and below, the one rule I do know is that if it's 16 and below, you may have to take a hit,
right? That's
and take the risk of it. If you hit at 17 or higher, then you're pretty much staying, because the house is either going to beat you or your opponents are going to beat you, unless you get lucky, depending on what the cards show.
There's something out there called Basic Strategy. You know, you can actually buy these cards at the gift shop in the casino, and they'll tell you the basic strategy. And the casino's totally cool with that, because they know that they have the house edge regardless. So
yeah, they got the house edge.
Yeah,
and a good part of the time, the house is going to end up winning most of the time.
Yeah, and that's how they win their money, and that's how they build their towers and hire all the showgirls and everything.
I mean, they know they can't win all the time, because if the house was winning all the time, then somebody would be in big trouble. Somebody's going to be.
They don't need to. They just need to win enough to make up the losses. So, Miss Debbie.
All right, Debbie, have a good night. Yeah. Wow. 2 hours and 12. And we talked everything from cruises to gambling. There you go. Let me ask you this, Harlan. Have you ever gambled on, kind of relating it back to, we were talking about cruises. Here's the thing that I just don't, and why really, I think did I do it on the last cruise I was on the one cruise I did? I think I played a couple of slots on the Carnival Elation. Harlan, have you ever played card game? Have you done any of the card games on the cruise lines? Now, I played some of the penny slots, but even I know there. Yeah, in poker, the house takes a percent. Exactly, Harlan.
See, I've only been on Disney, and they don't have casinos on Disney Cruise
Line. Yeah, well, Disney don't have no casino, so you don't have to worry about Disney. Okay, so you played in a blackjack tournament. Yeah, see, they're just... I fully have not. I just don't know if I fully comprehend the stuff on the cruise ships. That's why I really don't go towards the casino on the cruise lines. But I have. I like I said, the one cruise I did play, I did play a couple of miniature. Slots.
No casino on Disney. They do have bingo, but that's different.
You know, I said that. I said it to Mike, and I'll say it again. Bingo is not gambling. I-24, G52, 078. This number, this.
It's kind of gambling.
That is not gambling. That is putting me to sleep. That's almost like that's almost being like a senior citizen going.
Some people like it. You know, what do you do? It is kind of gambling, though, because you have to pay money to get a card, and you don't know if the card is going to win or not.
Wait a minute. You haven't what, Jonathan? You haven't been to a casino? Now, see, I've been to the MGM down in Detroit. I've been to the Windsor over in Windsor.
Oh, really? Nice, Charlotte. Well, hey, sometimes you can get lucky,
Yep, that's good.
which is kind of crazy because normally they don't open the casinos until they're out at sea.
Hmm. I wonder overall how the house edge is for cruise line casinos versus something like Vegas. I don't know how they vary.
Probably something similar because the only difference is with the casinos on the cruise lines, they can't open the casinos until they're out at sea,
Now,
until they're in international water. That's that, and yeah, I think
are they regulated?
certain things can't open up until they're beyond.
Are they regulated as much as the Vegas?
Have you seen Carlos? It is gambling. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying there, Jonathan. Are you talking about Disney World Freak? He likes to gamble. Not saying it's wrong. I mean, people like to gamble, and just be careful of what you're doing. That's all I say. I mean, if you want to gamble, I mean, I have no problem with it. Just careful of what you're doing.
Dave, I have a question. Do you know if the casinos on the cruise lines, are they regulated as much as the ones in Vegas are?
Yes.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, they're regulated.
I see.
But anything like Vegas, again, though, they're regulated to where the house has the edge.
Of course, naturally, but they can't cheat is what my question is.
Oh, you've never played on, okay, so you've never played on, and I know you've been on a few cruises, Jonathan. Oh, I know, in fact, I think, aren't you getting ready, didn't you just come off of a cruise in the last year, or you're getting ready to go on one, Jonathan? Let's see, one morning while waiting for my wife going to a religious service, I hit on a $5 slot machine. Oh, now that is lucky.
Yep. Good for the religious service.
You have a winning record at Vegas, no losses. Well, hey, that's the best kind of record you can have.
That's very impressive, actually. Wow.
Yeah, the house has the edge. Yeah, it's still regulated. Even the ones on the cruise ships are still regulated like Vegas. But again, the house has the house has the edge.
Yep, they'll always have the edge.
And that's going to be anywhere. The house is always going to have the edge.
Yep. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a casino.
Oh, Carlos streams his bingo sessions.
Oh,
I might have to go check out Carlos streaming his bingo session.
Oh, that's fun.
I-52, I-38, B-12, B-7, N-33,
I'm old
B-52.
school. See, I'm old school. I remember Dave, I remember when bingo was just a single line, like a horizontal or vertical line. Now you have to create these weird shapes on your bingo card. It's like, hey, create this butterfly. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, that's when you pull out a shotgun and put it up against the wall and go ba-boom, and you let the shell spread out, and then you cover all the numbers. There you go.
There you go. I just
or as Steve World does, he plays to get free cruises. Well, sometimes you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I said, I have nothing against bingo. I just can't play bingo. I mean, I'd be like this on my card.
Yeah.
That would be on my bingo card.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. So, see, he plays enough to play bingo on the cruise many times. My wife loved to play. And you know what? There's no problems with playing bingo. Some people love to play bingo.
Yep.
For me, I will go back to this. If I do the casino, I would stick to the penny slots. Win or lose. And like I said, I've done I've done it. I've done one or two on the Carnival ship that I did. Most of the time, I've been to one on the west side of Michigan. I've been to the Greek Casino, the MGM, Motown, which are the three casinos downtown Detroit, and I've been to the Windsor Casino over in Windsor, Canada, which is across the Detroit River.
Now, Jonathan has a good point. He says, "Yeah, these bingo machines are all digital now."
Yeah, now they're becoming digital, so it's not as.
I don't know what the point is at that point.
Exactly. Well, that is true, Jonathan, about the digital things. Yes.
They'll just play themselves. I'd rather have a drink.
Exactly.
Dave would rather get a drink and sit with his 10 redheads on the deck than do that. Right, Dave?
Exactly.
You got your 10 redheads you'd rather be with? Would you rather play bingo or have your 10 brunettes?
Let's see. Would I rather play bingo or what?
Or have your 10 brunettes with you on deck?
Me? Give me my brunettes on the beach. Because I know my bingo would win there. BINGO. Old MacDonald had a farm. BINGO.
Okay, my friend. I need to go wrap up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night because we've actually been going 2 hours. And well, thank you for coming on, John. I mean, it's nice, but see that's the thing I like about it. This is what the Friday and Saturday night shows are going to be like. So you're more than welcome to come hang out, listen to some music.
Who knew that we would talk about naked ghosts playing bingo? So you never know.
Oh, now we got naked ghosts playing bingo. Oh, that's a new one. I don't know if I ever want to see naked ghosts playing bingo.
You never know.
Might not be a good thing.
Yeah.
And, and that's what we usually do, Harlan. Usually when I'm with my my sister, my brother-in-law, well, back then it was mom, dad, and me. Now that mom and dad are gone, I don't know. I don't know if we might hit the bingo. Maybe we might hit the casinos or not. I don't know this year. It'll be the first time been back to Michigan. So we might, who knows? But yeah, sometimes you just play enough to work up an appetite. And because I have actually stayed at one of the hotels. My friend used to be a member of one of the casinos, and he would work up so many points to stay in a room. We actually got to do a New Year's party one year.
Nice.
At one of the casinos down in Detroit, which was fun. We actually did the New Year's party. We didn't actually do any gambling.
Nice. That works. Nothing wrong with that when you get your room comped.
Yeah, room was paid for. Hey, and it was all my friend. It was all based on my friend. So I got to go for the. Oh, you're welcome, Jonathan. I'm glad you made it home safe then, buddy, from wherever you were walking to. So with that, guys, I'm going to say, John, thank you for being in.
Absolutely.
Look forward to doing this probably in a couple of weeks. Next weekend, I know Friday I'll be busy flying into Michigan.
Yep. Very good.
Nice, Harlan. Nice. So with that, guys, thank you all for being here. Pete, Gabby, Harlan, Jason, Gloria,
Dave T.
all the naked ghosts.
All the naked ghosts playing bingo.
Yeah. All the naked ghosts on cruise ships.
Yep.
Apparently so, I guess. I don't know. That's the room I keep hearing through the chat room, so I don't know. Nice, Harlan. Nice. So with that, guys, I'm going to say, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation. Have a great night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.